Hey guys. Well, I have to show one of my original teachers the hatch. I'm sorry about that. Uh, Thomas DeLauer, step forward. You're out of here, friend. However, as a legitimate academic, which I am, and someone who joined this thing, this movement, if you will, this return to the proper human diet, to lose weight, I've not only been able to do that, but more. I've been able to gain health. I've been able to put my body into balance, thankfully. I also ran into other folks who I have respect for. I mean, I have respect for Tom, of course. And I've run into the other folks, Dr. Berry, Dr. Eckberg, Dr. Berg, Dr. Fung, even Bart Kay. I believe he's a doctor. Well, if he's not, he should be. I mean, he's a teacher, so he's a doctor, sure. But there's an ancient doctor of the church named Tertullian. Now, how come he's not Saint Tertullian? Well, right near the end of his bishop career, he flipped out and went on to the Montanists. Okay, so they were kind of a weird heresy in the early centuries of the Latin Church, which Jesus founded via Peter the Rock. And up until his departure, his going off the reservation, so to speak, he has great writings, great theological writings, great Christian theological writings. And Thomas DeLauer is no different. Up until he seems to be going off the reservation in all different directions. But I don't think he ever purported to be a healer. He's always said, I'm just some guy on the internet. That's his quote. And if that's his shtick, and he's always been transparent, he's always said, hey, look, this is a business for me. I'm in it for the money. I get it. Bart Kay had a rather scathing review of one of his videos, and yesterday Thomas DeLauer just uploaded a video on fruit, which I saw the introduction to, and I looked at the comments, and it was like almost promoting fruit. Now, look, if you're having metabolic challenges, blood glucose issues, insulin issues, you are not at all disposed to eat any fruit whatsoever except for an avocado. And if you consider tomatoes botanically fruit, then you can eat a tomato. I lost all my weight on Mexican salsas, which was fine. It's onions, chilies, cilantro, garlic, tomatoes, onions, and even some of the chili pods, ancho, pasilla, mulatto, chipotle. So again, I'm not saying that you can't inculcate, obviously, some botanically known fruits which are keto, and then plenty of green leafy vegetables if your body can tolerate it. I transitioned within about 6 months to more of a carnivore shtick, and now I would say my carbs are less than 1% as a total caloric definition. So I mostly eat just fatty meat and eggs, and the only veg I get per se is Mexican salsas or anything I put my meats into stews with. So yeah, Thomas has been going kind of Mediterranean-y, kind of veggie, kind of fruity, kind of he slammed saturated fats, and for me, well, I mean, he wouldn't consider it slamming saturated fats, but the best fats for the human being are saturated fats. That's what we use to actually store our potential energy, okay, before we turn it into fuel for our mitochondria. And I don't know, if you're not going to eat saturated fats, I don't recommend eating PUFAs, which are polyunsaturated fats. And I will eat olive oil sparingly. I like the flavor. I like it in certain things. Like the other day I made tuna fish. And I added some cactus, nopales, the cactus leaves, and salt, apple cider vinegar, and a drizzle of olive oil. And I just find that's fascinatingly delicious. So if you're not going to eat the saturated fats, then what do? You just load up on olive oil, which Mediterraneans tend to do. I mean, they'll load up on olive oil. But if you get rid of too many fats, what are you going to replace it with? You can't replace it with protein, because that breaks down into sugar if you eat too much of it. What doesn't get used to build you? What are you going to go back to some carbs? Is that why he's adding fruit? Guys, fruit has to be local, natural, and seasonal. I ate fruit over the last 2 months, maybe one guava every 3 days, because we have a guava tree out here. It doesn't produce year-long. It starts around the end of August through September through the beginning of October. Right now the tree is barren. It's done. So therefore I'm done. I'm not going to eat another guava till next season. And I enjoy guavas. They're very fibrous, extremely low on this glycemic index. I think they're one of the, they're just this side of strawberries. And I tend to eat a strawberry here and there. I like strawberries. So, but I'm metabolically healthy. Starting out, no, I didn't. I may have eaten some 95% cacao in my coffee, and I still have coffee. I mean, I drink coffee. So am I pure carnivore? Heck no. I don't join camps, friends. Delicious. But at the same time, I have become a healer of people, and I can't support anymore this current direction in which DeLauer's going, where he's carb cycling and adding a bunch of carbs and this and that. You know, but he's a weightlifter, bodybuilder. I mean, again, he's got a different shtick, and I'm cool with that. Obviously, duh, we all have our thing. Cada quien, right? In Mexico, we say that, cada quien, to each his own. But I can't recommend him anymore. I can probably recommend specific videos if you guys, want. Actually, I think his best video I've ever seen was what happens when you get off essentially bread for 2 weeks, or it was carbohydrates or something. What happens to you? And of course, if you get off all carbohydrates, what you're going to do is you're going to wind up eating fatty meat and eggs. So that's how that's going. So I sorry, Tom. I appreciate your help. I appreciate having watched and learning some really cool sciencey words and everything. But I can no longer actually kind of go, hey, yeah, follow this guy, because he'll help you get metabolically fit, because that's not true. The minute you eat fruits, it's going to take a while. It's going to take longer than you need it to. So anyway, Thomas, you've gone the way of Tertullian. Appreciate all of your old stuff, and hopefully you'll turn a corner. I'm not here to jettison people. It's not my thing. I wouldn't want people jettisoning me if they didn't maybe understand the whole truth, But at the same time, I'm kind of going to look at your videos and look at the thumbnail, and maybe I'll give them a pass and go on to something else. So anyway, guys, take care, be well, happy Friday.